This is King Noble, Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about some breaking news on the Roy Moore Senate campaign scandal. Breaking news. Republicans, white nationalists, has decided to back their alleged pedophile. Now, I'll say white nationalists will back their alleged pedophiles. That's what's happening in the case of Roy Moore. Republicans said, you know what, we're going to stand behind him no matter what. Given these allegations of sexual abuse, statutory rape, child molestation, whatever you want to call it, these allegations, because like I said, they weren't necessarily proven to be true. They're just alleged. But irregardless of these allegations is not enough to stop the white nationalists, i.e. Republicans, from supporting him. Now, whether they support him or not, he's probably not going to get in office due to the smear, the campaign smear. But they're still backing him. They're still standing in solidarity with him in spite of these allegations, still trying to put him in some type of position of political power. They're backing him. They're not going to throw him under the bus because they're about white power, white nationalism. That's more important. They're not getting distracted or off course based on these allegations. They're clear. This is their man. Now, they drug their feet on it a little bit for him to be in a position where there's a strong possibility he's going to lose his race. They kind of drug their feet, but it's still in the very end, they decide they're going to back him. Now, let's go all the way up to Donald Trump. They asked Donald Trump, so what do you think about Roy Moore? What do you think? Should he drop out of the campaign? Donald Trump says if those charges are true, he should drop out, if they are true. So the allegations are not enough to destroy him, because that's a strong if. Then Donald Trump comes out and say it's up to Alabama to decide what's going to happen with Roy Moore. Leave it in the hands of the Alabama voters. So I guess what Trump is saying is that Alabama is a sovereign nation. A sovereign and independent nation. And it's up to that sovereign nation to decide the fate of Roy Moore. That these allegations is not a national or federal concern. Interesting. So different groups of white people can have their own sovereign nations and independence to deal with judicial matters as they see fit, to deal with allegations as they see fit. They're left to themselves to figure this out on a local level. It's not a national concern, even though it's been national outrage about it. And he's going to get into an office. He would be running for a national office to represent Alabama before the nation. That's their issue. Let them solve that. I don't have nothing to do with that. Let the voters decide. So different groups of white people can have somewhat of their own sovereign nation, their own independence from the greater government. Their fate is in their own hands as a state. That makes me ask, why can't black people have their own sovereign nation? Why don't Trump say that about black people, black nationalists who have their own nation? Why don't he come out and say, well, that's their fate. That's up to them. They decide their own nation. What's going to happen? It's up to them. White nationalism supports itself. All these allegations against these white males where nothing is happening. They had allegations against Trump. All of them were dropped. Allegations against Weinstein and Roy Moore, and the list goes on. They just keep coming out. It's a new guy every second. Sylvester Stallone. Nothing's going to happen. White nationalist is going to defend itself from white feminism in the very end. because the white race wants to keep itself in power. So it has to defend the integrity of it being in power over anything, because that's how a nation operates. It won't get distracted by the small issues. It won't get caught up in allegations. Gossip. They have to run a nation. Right now, it's so much gossip coming out, so many allegations coming out of left field, that so many people will come out with allegations that it won't even be enough resources or officers or agents or agencies to investigate these incidents. It's getting foolish now. It's going to become almost foolish, but they know how to cut off the foolishness. And that's what Donald Trump did in the case of Roy Moore. He just cut it off. Let the voters decide. Leave it in the hands of the people to decide if he gets in office. It's not in the hands of the legal system, in the justice system, Department of Justice, none of that, not in the hands of the law. It's in the hands of the people. I mean, this is deep. Y'all got to watch this. This is an example. They're standing behind their man. They doing it diplomatically. They doing it smooth. But we know that they're doing it. This is an exemplification of how white nationalism operates. And black nationalists need to learn something from this. Anybody talking about black nationalism needs to learn something from this situation. Don't get distracted. It's about black power in the end, and black people getting in positions. Don't let allegations distract you. We as a people have to decide our destiny to come into power, not be derailed, not be sidetracked, not be defamed, but stay focused on what the objective is, and it is black rulership. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate and don't hate.